This is 2026 and I'm filming this video on Christmas Day, funny enough. And the point of this video is to walk you through the plan that we have to scale the agency to 7 figures this year. And I'm going to walk you through all the different steps, the team that is going to be required to hit this goal, our strategy for hitting this goal, my thought process behind it, pretty much everything from start to finish, so that if you are a coach and you're planning for the year on the goals you want to hit, how many units of your product you want to sell, and so on and so forth, you can take from this and use that to plan your year to as well. Because this process is the exact process that we also use for all our clients. I literally just finished planning. If I go to all clients here and I show you some of the clients that we currently work with, I just literally finished planning for the year. This is an example of one client, and I literally just finished planning 2026 challenge calendars for them. So you want to plan your year as meticulously as possible, and this video will walk you through how we plan to hit 7 figures this year for the agency. The first thing here is channels. So channels here just means how we plan to get the clients. Because if you have a high ticket business, you are going to want to have a strategy for getting clients. And this year, we tried a bunch of things, but the thing that has worked for us the best is cold emails, and that's exactly what we are going to be doing in 2026. We plan to send 500 cold emails per day. If you think that is a lot, then it's not a lot. People send thousands of cold emails per day, but 500 per day is what we need to get to the goal that we have. And we currently send about 100 per day right now. So we want to scale that to 500 per day as quickly as possible. To do that, we'll need a team of about 6 people, and we have 2 people right now. So we'll also scale that team to 6 people so that we can send 500 cold emails per day consistently. And the second thing is YouTube organic, which is videos like this. I don't have too much hope that we would book appointments from this, if I'm being honest. I'm just doing this because I know it's something that would book appointments 2 years from now, 3 years from now. The sooner I start, the better for the company. So that's why I'm doing this now. But YouTube organic is the second thing that we are doing as well. And it's cool because it can feed the cold emails. Like when people search my name on social media or they search my name on Google, videos like this can pop up and they can see we are actually a true company and we are a legit company. So that's why I do these videos. So cold emails 500 per day and YouTube organic. So that's in terms of acquisition channel. Now, if you group your business, you realize that your business is actually a compilation of systems. And there's only a couple of systems that you need to worry about in your business. And the first thing is marketing and branding. That's the first thing. Second one is sales. So marketing and branding is basically what I just shared here. Cold emails, 500 per day, and YouTube organic. Marketing and branding is settled. Sales is when people book these appointments, they speak with me and I take them through our sales process to try and turn them from a stranger from cold email into a prospect. And then onboarding. So how do you onboard these prospects in a way where you can get fulfillment done as quickly as possible? So that's the idea behind onboarding here. We want to onboard clients in a way where we can get fulfillment done as quickly as possible. We literally had a client tell us last 2 weeks on a weekly call that she's amazed by how much work we've done in the first 2 weeks of working together. And that's because we have a somewhat okay onboarding system right now, but I know it can still be much better. And that's literally the plan, to make the onboarding system so good that we can get so much work done in about 7 to 14 days. And the clients are mind blown by how fast we actually hit the ground running after they come on board. Then operations is basically 3 things, and that is the fulfillment, like delivering the actual service that they pay us for. Hiring, which is super important, especially for a done-for-you agency like mine. Hiring is going to be super important, and we are literally going to be hiring throughout 2026 pretty much. Hiring is very important, and then client support too as well. So somebody speaking to the client when they have issues, and just someone being there for the clients, having calls with the clients consistently to make sure they feel supported, because it is a done-for-you service that we offer. Like we literally do everything for you, and because of that, support is going to be a very, very important part of that. So these are pretty much the systems that we need for our business. For a coaching business, is marketing, sales, onboarding is pretty simple and straightforward, but onboarding as well. And then delivery, support, hiring, basically the same thing. So you run high ticket businesses very similarly. So if you have a coaching business, it's basically the same systems that you need to as well. So for funnels, with the approach that we have right now in 2027 and beyond, we would be switching this a bit to do the thing that we do for our clients, if you get what I mean. But I don't feel like we're at that stage yet where we use the same systems we use for our clients to get clients for ourselves. So it might be a belief. I'm pretty sure it's a belief, a limiting belief. But for right now, we are just going to use cold emails and YouTube organic pretty much, because that's what has worked for us this year. And when clients come on board as well with a proven strategy, we rarely try to change it. We just try to scale it. So websites, we have one website. It's a very simple website, and that's going to stay the same. And then there's going to be one VSL funnel, which you can check out if you click the link in the description. But there's going to be one VSL funnel, and then we are going to update this VSL funnel and website after every 30 calls that we book. Just because the more calls that I take, the more I learn about the prospects, the more I learn about the market, learn the right words to use in my messaging, and I can use that to optimize the VSL funnel. And that cycle can just continue throughout the year. So the more calls we take, the better the marketing becomes, the better the funnel becomes, and that makes the whole system get better and better the more we run it pretty much. And then the product is just one product that we have, and that is done for you paid ads and funnels. I kept challenge funnels here, which is because that's the main funnel that we scale our clients with, but it's majorly done for you paid ads and funnels. Because if you have funnels that are similar to challenge funnels, like a webinar funnel and so on and so forth, we'll still scale you with that. We have 2 clients right now we are scaling with webinar funnels. We can still do that very effectively, but majorly it's going to be done for you paid ads and funnels. And then the math behind this. So in order for me to hit the goal that we have, we need to sell 50 units of this service, and we need to run this at a 40% profit margin. So that is very low for a coaching business. If you have a coaching business, you want it to be about 80%. But for a done-for-you agency like mine, if you are going to bring in quality team members that actually come in with batteries included, you are going to want to pay them a lot of money. And that's why we have the profit margins here as 40%. Willing to spend any amount to get the best people on our team. This is going to be a 40% profit margin. But if you have a coaching business, in all honesty, you could have a 60% margin at scale, just because of the way that business model is structured. And then the team now to hit this goal. What we do with the team structure is a pod system. And a pod system is basically when you group the team into small pods pretty much. And then each pod is responsible for managing X amounts of clients. And then if you want to have more clients, you basically open up new pods. And then when you have 2 pods, then it becomes a district, and then you need a leader to manage that pod. And then when you have 4 pods, it becomes like a city, and then you need a leader to manage the 2 leaders that manage the 4 pods. So it's this very cool system that allows you to continue to scale your fulfillment step by step, step by step. So what we are going to implement is a pod structure. And by the way, I haven't shown my business partner this plan, so some things might still change. But for right now, this is the plan that I'm proposing, right? But some things might still change. So anyways, that's the idea behind the pod system, right? And it's just a system where you can just continue to scale fulfillment. So you can see it's a lot of people, and rightfully so, because again, we have a done for you service and we charge a lot of money. I'll just leave it at that. So if we charge a lot of money, then we have to give clients an amazing experience and make the service as hands-off as possible for them. So that's why we have a lot of people involved in this. So I don't need to get into the weeds of this, but we just have all the basic elements that we need to fulfill for 10 clients per pod, which is kind of like the goal here, 10 units per pod. So there's the marketing strategist, which is the person who does the strategy, writes the high level copy, that kind of thing. Then we have the account manager, person that speaks to the clients and manages the clients. Then project manager manages projects to the team. And then we have like media buyers, editors, designers, tech, copywriters, and so on and so forth. So the idea here is just to build a pod system that allows us to scale. And then we plan to hire a bookkeeper too as well, because the more clients we have, the more it's going to become a full-time job for someone to manage all the payments that will come in, manage payroll, that kind of thing. So we plan to hire a bookkeeper as well. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. So it's just about scaling the pods. And then when we have 2 pods that are filled up, we hire a head of fulfillment. And then when we have like 4 pods that are filled up, we hire a senior head of fulfillment to manage the 2 head of fulfillments that will manage the rest of the pods. So that's basically the idea behind this. And then in terms of objectives now, so these are like the main objectives that we have. So the first objective is to scale to 50 active clients. That's the main goal. And if we hit this, we would have a 7-figure business in 2026 pretty much. So that's the main goal. The second thing as an objective here is to remove myself and my business partner from fulfillment. So right now, it's crazy, but my business partner and I are fulfilling 5 roles each right now, which is insane. And that's why I think is the biggest bottleneck stopping us from like scaling, because we can't scale if we are both fulfilling 5 roles each. So if you're a coach right now and you're doing like 6 things in one, then you should consider hiring a team to assist you with that, because you're just not going to scale if you're doing everything yourself. Like this is one of the things that one of the most recent clients that we brought on was just sharing with us, that she was doing everything herself and she didn't even think she could hire out her marketing until we came on board. And now she just feels so relieved because she never has to worry about like marketing, ads, and that kind of stuff. So you should have a team. As long as you have the money to hire a team, you should have a team in your helping you out in the part of your business that you're not the only one that can do those things. So the second step is to remove ourselves from fulfillment. We are going to be hiring a lot. If you're watching this video and you're an expert and you would like to work with us as we scale the agency to 7 figures this year, just send me a DM on Instagram. If you search my name on Instagram, send me a DM and then I'll connect you with my business partner. And then if you are a good fit, then we will be happy to have you on the team. We are going to be hiring a lot of people pretty much. And the first goal is to remove ourselves from fulfillment. The third objective is to build this fully functional, fully operational pods. We are not going to build all 5 pods at once, of course. Like we will build one pod, fill it to the brim with clients, make sure it is solid, it's profitable. That's a very, very important thing, because each pod has how much money it can make for it to be profitable, right? So the pod has to be profitable before we open up a new pod. If the pod is not profitable yet, we can't spend all this time and resources trying to open up a new pod if a pod is not profitable. So the first thing is build one pod, make sure it is profitable. Once it's profitable, build the next pod, then hire the head of fulfillment. Now we have 2 pods, then build the third pod, the fourth one, the fifth one, and so on and so forth. So the idea here is the pod has to be fully operational and fully functional before we build the next pod. And then the next one here is to build the leadership layer. So the more people you have, the more you would need some sort of middle management for these people, just to really hold them accountable. So the moment we finish building this second pod, we are going to have to hire like a head of fulfillment that is going to manage these 2 pods. And then when we have like 4 pods now, we're going to have a senior head of fulfillment that will manage these 2 different pods. That's pretty much the idea behind this. And that's the 4th objective. Now, the 5th one is to build a predictable acquisition engine. I don't want to jinx this, but this might be the easiest part out of everything, because we already have a system for booking appointments and closing sales calls. So we just need to scale that system. And once we scale that system, we would book tons of appointments. I would take the sales calls myself and I would have a pretty decent close rate. And once we do that, that will allow us to sign the number of clients that we need to sign. That's very, very important for us. So building that predictable system of client acquisition, because there's no point in trying to scale these pods unless we have a system that gets clients consistent. So we'll just burn money to the ground if we build a new pod and pay all these people tons of money for working with us, and then we can't fill it up with clients. There's no client for them to service, because the way the system works, you have to build the team before the clients come in. Because if you get the clients before you build the team, then the clients will have a terrible experience. So once one pod is fully functional, you want to build the second pod and then fill the clients simultaneously. So you have to build a team before you bring in the clients. So you're scaling from back to front pretty much. So for that to happen, it needs to be a predictable cadence of getting these clients in, so that we are not always in the red throughout the year, right? So that's basically that for that objective. The next one is to document everything before we scale. So a lot of things live in my business partner and I's heads. Pretty much, like we do so much for clients and we know so much. There's a lot of things that live in our head that we've not documented. So we have to document everything before we can scale. And we're already doing that right now, but we need even more documentation. And it's cool because I can even just share the SOPs as resources. I can share them as videos. I can share them with clients. It just makes it a lot easier for us to build a team when we've actually documented everything. So document as much as possible before we scale. And the most important thing to us is to maintain client results and retention, because that's going to be the most important thing, and it's the life and blood of the business. So we don't plan to sacrifice client results for scale. in any way, shape, or form. And that's why the team is this intense. That's why we have so many people that are going to be doing specific things for each client. So clients don't have to suffer for any reason, because we are trying to scale, because we want to still maintain that very high quality service for clients, despite the fact that we are trying to scale as well. So maintaining that, I want every client to renew, because we have a 6 month term when a client comes on board. So I want every client to renew once their 6 month term with us is over. And we have a certain milestone we need each client to hit every 6 months for this to make sense for us. So we need to hit that goal. And then the last thing here is to achieve sustainable unit economics. And this is the thing I was explaining before, where I was talking about like the pod has to be profitable. There's a certain profit margin I want to see from a pod before it makes sense to open up a new pod. Otherwise, I will just scale like chaos pretty much. So I want each pod to be profitable first, hit a certain milestone before it makes sense to bring on a new pod. Otherwise, the business would just not work out and we would lose a lot of money. So that's that for the objectives. So those are the main objectives going into next year pretty much. And if we do all these things, then it doesn't make sense for us not to hit the goal. And the last thing is hiring. So hiring here, I already showed you the team, but hiring here is pretty long and it's just a detailed breakdown month by month how we are actually going to hire the team to do this, like who we are going to hire first and the exact cadence. So it's pretty like step by step, month by month, week by week. It's a very detailed breakdown of step by step. Okay, month 1, week 1, this is what we are going to try and hire. Month 2, week 2, this is what we are going to try and hire. And this also helps because it puts it into milestones. And I know if I don't hit this milestone, let's say I'm stuck at month 1 for 3 months, it happens, it's business, right? I might be stuck at month 1 for 3 months and then I have to compress months 2, 3, and 4 into 1 month. So this is not linear, right? And that happens in business. So this is not linear. It's not going to happen exactly like this every single month. I might be stuck in month 2 for 4 months and then I will compress month 4 to 5 or month 4 to 8 into 1 month. So business is not linear. Just keep that in mind. But at least we want to try and plan for it month by month so that you know that, okay, every single month, every single phase, this is the milestones we need to hit. This is what happens next, and so on and so forth. So that's pretty much the summary of this. This is what I'm going to be working on throughout 2026. I'm going to be focusing on these documents and trying to execute these objectives. And this is the first time that I have set a big goal, so to speak. And I actually feel like we can actually achieve it, which is very good. Hopefully we do. We are going to do everything possible to hit the goals that we have, give our clients amazing experiences, get them insane results through that journey on this YouTube channel, because I'm going to be posting a lot of videos in 2026. So if you want to stick around for that, if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you like this video. Very important, so you can get recommended more videos like this. Make sure you subscribe. And then if you are a coach and you would love us to scale your business and you currently experiencing unpredictable revenue, inconsistency in your revenue, and you just want that consistent cadence of getting clients into your business because you have a team of experts that are here to support you every step of the way throughout that process, click the link in the description, watch the video on that page, book a call to speak with me, and I can't wait to help you scale your business. Thank you guys for watching, and bye.